It was 2020 and water had officially joined the likes of gold and oil in being traded on Wall Street as a future commodity. Even then, people still lived in disbelief about climate change. Many dismissed those who were worried about publicly trading water. But soon, biotrading began to lead the way. Anything from bacteria to plants to the air itself was speculated and invested upon, soil microorganisms included. A couple of decades later, microorganisms were one of the most profitable investments since they were a scarce but valuable resource. Public interest rose, and everyone, from supermarkets to consumers, began to notice those little guys under the ground. As care extended to the soil and its inhabitants, many wondered, how can we make sure that our buying power is put to good use? In other words, can we support microbial diversity by shopping differently? In response, food shopping began to switch its focus towards providing consumers a thoroughly genetically informed shopping experience. Food quality depended on healthy microbial communities, so metagenomics were at the foreground of this systemic change. The understanding of what makes a product good broadened. Consumers demanded that the food was not only tasty, but ecosystemically empathetic. Supermarkets morphed, and it slowly became common to see moments like these. Isn't it beautiful? Birds chirping, the sun is shining, microorganisms are thriving. Another regular day, another joyful trip to the supermarket. Maya is happily walking through the aisles. She wants to prepare her granny's recipe for the traditional ajiaco dish, so she'll need a variety of potatoes, corn, and fruit to create a truly special flavor. The supermarket is arranged in a way that customers can browse products based on their availability regarding the geographical location and biome they are grown in. Customers like her can pick produce based on particular characteristics from specific regions, and also know in great detail about them. There's a wide variety of potatoes to choose from. In this case, papa sabanera is grown at an ecosystem. The conditions in which these are harvested and taken care in are vital to the quality of the crop as much as the substance of the biome as a whole. These are displayed in the origin label. Origin labeling allows customers like Maya to know more about the product's growth conditions. If she wished to know even more, she can always scan its origin tag and know more about the product details. As she scans, she can see that this potato was grown in a rather undiverse soil, which means that there were not enough microorganisms in this particular crop. She realizes that another potato might fit better with the earthly flavor she's looking for, so she checks for a higher content of microorganisms among the potatoes. A higher content of these microorganisms indicates a certain function. Her final choice is a quality one, nutritious for her health as it is for the environment. In order to find the corn and the fruit she needs, Maya checks the slow growth area, a selection of seasonally picked products and highlighted microbial communities. Always in movement, this area shows customers current and soon-to-come products, displayed in these crop status bars. She and everyone else can plan her meals ahead while having tremendous variety all year long. As the other products, she can see origin labeling and attach to it a brief description of other distinct enzymatic growth conditions of the farm where this fresh produce came from. This information makes choosing easier. These qualities are based on the individual enzymatic functions that soil microorganisms had while the product was growing. Enzymes catalyst singular processes that make these products so special. The magic comes from all the way down deep inside the earth. Maya's shopping trip is about to end. Before she pays, the cashier shows her final balance, financial and environmental cost, as well as the overall diversity rate of her purchase. And off she goes. What if we told you by changing the way that we choose food at the marketplace, we can make this soil-conscious future a reality? It might seem far-fetched, but we truly believe this change is possible. Our project, Soil Market, is a biodesign research project that aims to create a blueprint for a new food shopping experience. directed towards the soil-aware customer and environmentally mindful institutions. Our goal is to provide pivotal interventions with the potential of creating structural changes within the food system that we already know. We aim to do this by reimagining the way that we think of food. We're making this possible by opening dialogues with current spending and consumption habits carried out at the supermarket, and the acknowledging of the crucial importance of soil's health. Getting there will require a shift in our cultural attitudes regarding food consumption, especially in large industrial settings like supermarkets, which is why our project focuses on two main goals. First, acknowledging and protecting local genetic diversity. There is great richness that goes unnoticed. Traditional farming practices tend to homogenize. We believe it should be the other way around. Second, consumer soil awareness. What we eat matters, and the food choices that we make every day have a big impact on the environment. Making small choices by the thousands can transform the system. But why soil, and why microorganisms? Well, soil is responsible for the availability and quality of our food. When it's healthy, it cultivates tasty crops and balances climate. And when it's not, food security is compromised and climate change is aggravated. And microorganisms have a crucial unseen role in all of this. Without a diverse microorganic community, soil can't complete many of its natural processes of decomposition and carbon sequestration. Millions of microorganisms that coexist at the base of the soil, where the roots of the crops are, nurture themselves for growth. In a nutshell, a lack of microorganisms equals to no soil health, and no healthy soil equals to no nutritious crops, and no nutritious crops equals to people not consuming nutritious food, and it's all part of a cycle, and that cycle is getting broken. Preserving soil health is a long overdue conversation, and our project wants to bring attention to it. Metagenomics is the science behind all of this. Taking a closer look at enzymatic activity in soil is the first step to merge soil genetic diversity into the supermarket. Soil studies are gaining popularity with the agriculture world. These studies on soil biota from specific harvesting sites allow us to have much more insight in the nutritional and regenerative values each of these organisms can contribute. A study allows us to map out the different populations in soil microorganisms, consequently providing us the tools to classify the soil through its properties. Such properties are a result of regenerative agriculture practices talked about throughout the project's purpose. Remember our vision for a soil-aware future? Well, Maya's shopping trip is showcasing all of the components of our proposal. Soil Markets focuses heavily on local biodiversity. We portrayed this in the local biome aisles and the origin facts labels. Why is it important to focus on the consumption of locally produced food? We believe that it's important to address this issue and to support small-scale farmers. As necessary as big farming is, protecting our local producers and biomes is key for sustaining a healthy food system. That's why origin labels illustrate information that speaks of the trajectory of food. How far away has it traveled? What kind of ecosystem is it native of? It also shows a general description of its microbial diversity and the farming practices used to harvest it. We stand by the idea that each country has local biodiversity with great hidden potential. By sorting food based on its origin, consumers can know more about diversity and conservation. At the same time, supermarkets can be the allies in the protection of these biomes. Additionally, we can see how the customers are able to find and understand enzymatic information in their food. We added this to show that it is possible to associate new attributes to our food. What do we mean by this? Well, when you buy a tomato, you check it is the right color, the firmness, or perhaps that it smells good. Well, in our fiction, people can add a new characteristic to this list, which would be, what is the function of my food? These attributes are based on an enzymatic function analysis of the soil, which links specific bacteria to processes that are related to soil quality. Our proposal also exposes the future importance of slow growth. This fictional movement is heavily inspired on the slow food movement, which tries to bring back the traditions around eating and enjoying food. In a similar fashion, the slow growth movement introduces a gradual return to traditional production techniques and anti-immediacy values, meaning we respect the time of the earth and we don't push the soil aggressively past its limits. We address the issue of immediacy and its weight on the food system through this idea. We questioned ourselves. Do we really need to get those exotic grapes from all the way around the world right here at this moment on our local supermarket? Well, the answer is of course no. In our video, this is shown in the crop status bars that sit in a special part of the market. The bars display the growth information on soon-to-come crops, normalizing unavailability and making customers wait. Maya adjusts her meal choices according to this information. As students worried about the future of our planet, we believe it is about time that we open our eyes to the system that we are now preserving. Our choices are replicated over and over millions of times all around the world. Supermarkets act as beacons of choices, places where small changes can create huge differences. We can change it. Soil markets is one way of doing it. Anyone who is part of the food system can make this vision come true. Customers, institutions, and even you.